There is so much more to life than what we see. What if we were capable of feeling it? This is the Inner Guide Podcast, a journey back to you. Welcome to this third episode of Inner Guide Podcast. I am Isabel Churchill, your host for this journey back to you. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about this journey. My journey started mainly because of physical issues. And I want to talk about that because I feel like we sometimes forget the importance of the body, especially if you're on a journey, a spiritual journey. Often we have this perception that a spiritual journey is not about the physical body. And yet I feel it's all about the physical body. It's all about remembering that we are Trinity. And a Trinity, to me, is basically the aspect of the mind, body, and energy. And sometimes when we do like this progress, when we realize that there's more to life than the physical reality, it's almost like we close off the connection to the physical body. A lot of people will have this wanting to be constantly connected spiritually at another level, like in another state. And sometimes I feel like that's almost like avoiding reality. The reality is that we are incarnated in a physical body, and this physical body is like a temple. It's an aspect that, yes, it's physical, but there's so much more to it. And the physical body is your best friend. It's your home, and it is what you really want to take care of because it allows you to experience life in a certain way. If you remember my experience, you'll remember that I went through a depression. And often the experience that we have of physical suffering or mental suffering is an experience that's very humbling. It allows us to see a different perspective. It allows us to really pay attention to what is going on. And I want you to take a moment to pay attention to what is going on physically in your life. Do you have issues with your digestion? Do you have issues with headaches or migraines? Maybe you have epilepsy. Maybe you are experiencing diabetes, complications. No matter what it is, just pinpoint what is your body communicating to yourself right now? And this is a very spiritual experience because, like I said earlier, to me, spirituality is about connection to self, connection to the divine self within you. And you are a physical body. So connecting with your physical body, it is a spiritual experience. It's an experience that allows you to understand yourself better, or it is an opportunity that invite you to learn who you are, what you're experiencing in the moment. The physical body is not an enemy. I have such a hard time when people, especially in the medical world, will say that, especially in the immune system field, people will say that your immune system is attacking your body, and there's no such thing. The immune system is not attacking the body. You don't have an enemy within yourself, but there might be some kind of enemy in your body. There might be a virus. There might be something else that is triggering the immune system to react. But when you have allergies, when you have immune system reaction or immune system disease or illnesses, it's not your physical body attacking yourself. And I've always had such a hard time with that, with understanding this perception. I work a lot in the healthcare for many years, and I've heard many speakers. I organize a few wellness conferences where I had the opportunity to interact with professionals in the field that are amazing at what they do. And there's so many inspirational people out there that truly understand the way we function and also the way the body function. And one time there was this expert on, he was actually, I believe, a priest, and he was there to support people through their end-of-life process. And he said that one of his expertise was to help people that had a cancer to be at peace with it. And what he shared was absolutely mind-blowing to me. He said, in our society, we tend to fight illnesses, especially cancer. You see all those marketing about fighting cancer, winning the battle. It's all about fighting. And what he said totally hit me hard. He said, when you fight, you're activating the part of your nervous system that is the fight or flight. And that part of the nervous system will send some information, some adrenaline, for example, to your body, to parts of your body. So just imagine that all of a sudden you realize that there's a bear and the bear chase you. You need that fight or flight system to activate. So you need that adrenaline to run away and maybe it's not a good idea to run away from a bear. I don't know. It never happened, but you will want to run away. But it's not the right response when you're experiencing cancer. And yet we almost encourage people to be in that fight or flight mode, to have this adrenaline. But what do you think adrenaline does to a cancer cell? Do you truly want to give adrenaline to a cancer cell? Probably not. So we have to be really mindful about how we approach this illness. And we have to be really mindful also about what is it all about? Why in the first place are people experiencing cancer? What is at the core of that cancer? We never really took the time to think about that. Maybe some people have, but unfortunately in the general medical world, we don't necessarily approach it that way. I've worked for a few years for an oncology center as a project manager, and I know they had a Reiki service that they were offering, but it wasn't really approached in a way that explaining what Reiki does at the cellular level, at the body level. To me, the energy field is so important because what it does, it provides something that the medical care does not provide. In my practice as an energy medicine practitioner, I provide to people the ability to change the nervous system approach to the body. Instead of being in the fight or flight mode, we activate the relaxation mode. We activate the mode that allow you to heal. If you want to heal, you need to calm down the nervous system that is in the fight or flight mode. And the reality of our society is that we're constantly in the fight or flight mode. Just think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. Just think about your lifestyle. Think about the daily way you operate. It feels, and I don't feel that anymore because I've learned to get out of this aspect. But when I was a project manager, when I work for the hospital, I was constantly going on action mode. My fight or flight nervous system was on. And I remember and you probably have experienced that. You go to bed and you feel like you've worked all night. You feel like you've solved problem all night. Why? Because you can't shut down your fight or flight mode. And it's that simple. And if you cannot get good sleep, forget about it. Like you're never going to recuperate what you need to rejuvenate. Your body will never be operating at the optimal level to heal. And that's why Reiki work. That's why energy can be such a great ally to traditional medicine, because on top of getting the treatment, the medical treatment that can help your body, you're also setting up your body to receive that treatment in the perfect conditions. And that's why, to me, it's so important that we combine the energy medicine to the traditional medical approach in order to allow the body to accept the healing, in order to create the perfect conditions in the body to receive and also to heal. So those are the aspects that for me are so important. And for us to realize how we're using the body, how we're abusing the body also. There's such an abuse that we impose to the body. Every single morning, most people will get up and be on, and they'll be like super active and stressing and running around and doing a million things at the same time. And yet they don't find an opportunity to tell their body, you are safe. It's okay to relax. It's almost like we don't give ourselves permission to slow down. And there is so many simple ways we can do that, and ways that doesn't have to be complex. I remember that in the hospital I worked to, we would teach doctors to take a deep breath every time they went and washed their hands. They would take a nice deep breath. And for a doctor, for a physician and a nurse, you can wash your hands 1,000 times in a day. So to combine that type of activity of exercise, a mindfulness exercise, with something that you routinely do, just set you up for success. So just think of something you constantly do in your work or in your day. And if there's some stay-at-home parents here, you are also experiencing stress constantly. And when I say work, I don't mean necessarily financially. For me, taking care of family is work. Although I never had to do it for kids, I did have it when being a military spouse. Sometimes we just have to hold the fort, and sometimes we have to be the at-home caretaker. My husband and I had 2 senior dogs, which unfortunately went to the Rainbow Bridge, but the last year has been a lot about taking care of them, and that can be stressful when you take care of somebody who's ill, of children, of a loved one who's going through a difficult time in their life. It's just challenging. So when I say work, I don't necessarily mean the financial aspect, but just think of something that you're constantly doing that is a routine, such as for a physician or a nurse washing their hands, or to me, I'm constantly on the phone or connected to an online client. And like tomorrow, for example, I have 6 clients tomorrow in my day. And that's a lot. That's a big day for me. 6 hours of interaction with people. So how do I slow down? Between each client, I take the opportunity to take a nice deep breath. I take the opportunity to slow down my day. And it can be as simple as that. And that has been taught to me by my medical intuitive, Robin Lee, who talked about the importance of slowing down your day. And just this exercise will allow you to tell your body, it's okay to relax right now. It's okay to slow down. And we don't do enough of that. We're constantly telling the body, go, 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 go. And when the body is tired, we tell it, no, you can't be tired. That's not the right time. Go, go, go. But when is it the right time to relax? There's no better time than now. Just while you're listening to me, let's just take a moment together to slow down. Just close your eyes for a second. Unless you're driving, please don't close your eyes. If you're driving, you can do it with your eyes open. But take a moment to breathe in through the nose And then breathe out through the mouth. Let's do it together. Let's inhale. And exhale. And let's just take a moment to tell the body, you are safe. You are loved. And right now, it's okay to relax. Right now, it's okay to just focus on breathing. And that's only a few seconds in your day. But doesn't it feel different? All of a sudden, everything is more clear. Everything seems more simple. And that's one simple way to slow down and tell the body, we don't need to be in that fight or flight mode right now. I am safe. I don't need to be in a battle. I don't need to be in a fight. I don't need to be running away from anything. I just need to be in that moment, in the space, and breathe. And the air coming in the body is so refreshing. We don't breathe very well. As a human, there's so little air that comes through. A lot of people don't breathe enough. So we don't get the oxygen. And oxygen is a key to healing. Oxygen in the body heal. So if we all took the opportunity to breathe better, there will be so much less sickness in our society. And breathing is simple. It doesn't cost anything. And that's the thing that blows my mind, is that we're constantly looking for the special supplement or the new diet or the new procedure that will make us better. And yet, life is so simple. Health is about slowing down and oxygen and paying attention to the body, being conscious of your body. How do you react when you're eating and you're no longer hungry? Or do you actually notice when you're no longer hungry? What do you do when you have a headache? What do you do when you're tired? Do you ignore the symptom or try to put a band-aid? Or do you actually pay attention and provide the body what it needs? If I'm no longer hungry, do I actually stop eating, or I continue forcing something in my body? When I have a headache, do I put a band-aid by taking a medicine? Or do I actually drink water, rehydrate my body, take a moment to pause, ground myself? Grounding is something super important for us. Grounding is as simple as connecting with your body. If you have a headache, just stop for a moment and think of the headache as a ball of energy that is located somewhere in your head where you feel the pain. And grounding would mean to drop that energy toward the feet. How do you do that? Just imagine it, or just pretend. Pretend that that ball of energy is moving slowly down the throat, down the chest, down the belly, down the hips, down to the knees, and down back to the ground. And then maybe you will want to move your feet, bring attention to the feet, because the energy needs to go back to the feet. The energy was too expensive at the head, causing a headache. We need to bring harmony back into that energy space. So a lot of headaches could be prevented also by rehydrating. Many of us don't drink enough water. Water is what makes life fluid. It was allow your whole body to function the way it should function. And this is also something that my medical intuitive taught me, is drink more water. I drink about 2 liters a day. Sometimes I drink more, sometimes I drink less. When I drink less, I notice it. And, I know it's hard at first. I usually go around 90 ounce of water a day. And sometimes at first I was going to the bathroom a lot, and that can be a pain, especially if you're traveling or if you have clients all day like I do. It's kind of embarrassing saying, I need to go to the bathroom again. But your body adapts to it. After a couple weeks, I didn't need to use the restroom anymore. My body had enough water and didn't need to release constantly. And it was fluid and it was good, and it released headaches also. So pay attention to that. Rehydrating the body is so simple, just like breathing. And yet we rather take supplements, or we rather do a procedure or take medicine to release something that could be released with such an easy and simple solution. Just try the experience in the next couple weeks. Try to drink more water and see what is the impact on your body. I've had knee issues for a long time, and all of a sudden I drink more water and I feel like I have better abilities in my knees. The pain is gone. And the only change I did was drinking more water. So sometimes there is a quick and simple solution, but it's not really the one that we choose. It's not really the one that we think of. And same thing, when you start paying attention to the body more, this is like the first step. This is like the first step to a spiritual journey. And that's why a lot of people who start that spiritual journey start it because they are in pain. And the pain just direct you to finding other solutions than the traditional medicine, the traditional route that we've been doing for so long. And I've noticed that in the past few months, there's more and more people that are opening up to that aspect. So start paying attention to the physical body. Start being conscious of when you're ignoring the body. I've worked for so many years with nurses who skipped their lunch, didn't go to the restroom all day, and that's ignoring the body. What do you do when you need to go really bad? Do you I need to finish this, or I need to do this before? Or do you constantly put your body in the last priority? And what do you do when you're tired? Let's say you're tired Friday night and somebody wants to go out. Do you force yourself to go out? That's really not being kind to your body. It's really important to pay attention. When you're tired, do you actually go to bed? Or do you try to push through? When your body is telling you it's time for a break, do you actually pay attention? What do you do when you're sick? Are you annoyed that you're sick? Are you trying to push through also? Do you continue working? Because sickness is a sign that the body needs a pause. And it's no wonder that our society went through this epidemic. We needed some time off. We got some, but did we actually use it the right way? Did we actually learn something from this past 2 years? Have you learned to slow down? Or have you decided that now that it's done, we're going to push through? Because we're experiencing that at the collective level for good reason. Our society is in a fight or flight mode. It's chaotic. It's constantly in duality. And I think it's teaching us to pay attention. It's teaching us to slow down and to switch into a state of safety, a state of relaxation and calm to heal. Healing can only happen when we feel that we are safe, that we have the space to heal, and also when we feel that we are in a time of healing that we believe we can heal. And it's as applicable to the individual as to the collective. And that's why we're experiencing everything we've been experiencing in the past 3 years. We're fast tracking. It's time to heal. And even the word healing, I have some difficulty with it because it's not necessarily about healing, but more about this podcast going back to yourself. Healing is about going back to you. Healing doesn't necessarily mean physical healing. It also means that you're finding yourself. And that's a huge part of the spiritual evolution, is to realize that there's actually nothing to heal, but everything to rediscover. And that to realize that inside we are perfect. And the healing is more about releasing what we're not. So it's really about starting this journey. And I invite you for the next couple weeks to pay attention to how you treat your body. Pay attention to what you communicate to your body also. We'll talk a little bit more in the next episode about the mental aspect, which is part of the Trinity. We'll talk a little bit more about how the mental aspect of us influence the body, influence the reality that we experience. We'll go a little bit deeper into that. But right now, pay attention to your physical body. Give it some love. Try to do that breathing exercise and see how it impacts your day. And it is something you know. I know you know that stuff, but are you actually applying it? Are you actually integrating it into your day-to-day life? Are you teaching it to others? Maybe you have kids. How beautiful would it be to teach kids to slow down, to pay attention to their body? Just imagine how that child would be as an adult if he was aware of the symptoms that the body provide. And there's so much meanings to every symptoms, and we'll definitely have an episode on that. What is the meaning of some pains and others? But for now, just bring the awareness to your body. Take the time to explore that aspect. It's been such a pleasure to share with you today, and I'm really excited about everything we'll accomplish together. And just see this as an experiment, an experience. And experiment those exercises. There's no failure or success. It's just about progression, progressing. There's no perfection here. It's all about how we progress as a person. I'm sending you tons of love, and I'm really excited to continue this podcast next week. Take care.